Alright, let's make a video. Tomorrow, we head down to Arizona for a reasonably big game, and I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly how big it is, and I'm having an even harder time knowing what to expect from this game. So, let's run through it. On one hand, I hesitate to label this game a must-win or anything like that, because it is a road game, and if you look at our season so far, we've won one road game, lost one home game. So if we won all of our home games the rest of the season and lost all the road games, which is very possible with this team, we'd be 8-8. That would quite possibly be enough to win the division. And I'd have no problem with that. So in that sense, and in a way that's not too far out there. I mean, this team could absolutely win out at home and lose out on the road. It wouldn't surprise me. So now, that being said, we've lost two in a row. We've gotten killed 2 weeks in a row by a combined score of 80, like 75-10. We've been run out of the building in both situations, including one game at home. And the team isn't that good. I'm not going to say the team's bad yet. We're fast approaching that point, but I'm not going to say that they're especially good or anything. So at some point you got to stock up some wins so you can survive the losses. And are we going to do that? I don't know how the team is going to feel about this game. I do feel like the team will show up to the best of their abilities or close to it, just because we have lost two in a row and we have to be feeling like we need to get something done here, because the team needs it and the city needs it, although the Huskies are playing good. Not the basketball Huskies. They played today and beat the crap out of some crappy team, but it's all good. I didn't see the game, but I like to follow how the team's doing. But I'm getting off topic now. So this game, I don't know how big it is. We've lost two in a row. It's a division game. I don't think Arizona's that good. I don't think they're awful, but I don't think they're very good. So in a lot of ways, it seems like it would be a big game and a game we really need to win, but I'm not going to call it a must-win, because it is a road game. It is... I don't know. I think it's a big game. If we lose tomorrow, which wouldn't terribly surprise me, it's something we can recover from. But if we lose tomorrow, I'm going to be concerned about the future of this season. I'm going to be concerned about this team. And I'm not going to feel so good about the rest of the year. Right now, I'm not really worried yet. I know we got crushed the last 2 weeks, but I'm not worried yet, in the sense that I think the team's falling apart. That's coming. But if we lose tomorrow, I'll start to be at least a little concerned about the direction the team is going. As for the game itself, I don't think Arizona's that good. I think this year they've busted a lot of big plays that have saved them in games where they didn't play that well on a whole. They lead the league in return touchdowns on interceptions and fumbles and kickoffs and punt returns and all that. They lead the league in that category. They average more than one per game, I think. If you force them to move down the field methodically, slowly, then you can force them into mistakes, because if you force them to go on 10, 12 play drives, there's a good chance at some point they're going to mess up. Because I'm assuming Derek Anderson is going to play the whole game tomorrow, but he's a lot better than Max Hall, sure, but he's not good. He is not a good quarterback. He's, a lot better than Max Hall, like I said, but he's horribly inaccurate, and if you can get him to throw a lot of passes, it's not going to be pretty. So I feel like we can handle that. But they're not an awful team, because they do make those big plays. Their defense is pretty good. I don't know if I love it. I mean, they obviously gave up a 14-point lead in 4 minutes to the Vikings, which is not promising, but they seem to make some big plays. They seem to not be completely incompetent. It's not a thing like the Cowboys defense just getting smoked every week, or the I don't know, what's the defense that's gotten smoked all year? You know the defenses, but they're not great, but they are pretty good. I think, when we played them in Seattle, they did a good job getting after the quarterback and taking away our offense. And we won because we managed to get just enough offense to beat a terrible Cardinals, on that day, a pretty horrible Cardinals team. So, I don't know, because, again, this Arizona team, it's hard to get a read on them simply because I don't think they play like a good team. They make a lot of big plays that, traditionally, you can't count on that. You can't count on Max Hall fumbling at the 5-yard line and an offensive lineman falling into the end zone on it. You can't count on Drew Brees throwing multiple picks and a pick six, and you can't count on kickoff returns and punt returns. They don't happen often enough. So, in that sense, I don't know if Arizona's that good, but I wouldn't say they're awful or anything like that. So, I think we can do it. I think we can win tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and say we'll win a close one. I have no luck picking this team this year, which is sad. I should know this team better than most people, and I don't, because I've only picked like 3 games correctly all season for this team, and I feel alright about tomorrow. I am a little concerned just because the team hasn't played well in 2 weeks, arguably 3. It is a game that we might be able to afford to lose in the long run, but it's a game that I think we need just for the confidence factor, and I think we'll do it. My main concern is this offensive line. It's just not very good. Even if the offensive line was healthy, which it's not, it's still not that good. It's worse because of the injuries, yeah, but I still don't like the fact that we have an old quarterback back there behind whatever offensive line we throw out there. It's not good enough. But I think our defense will show up. I think if we can force the Cardinals to have long drives, we can force them into mistakes and force some turnovers. And that should set up the offense, because I don't trust the offense right now. But if we give them a short field, I think they'll find a way to do it. So with that, let's go into the picks this week. Titans-Dolphins. I like that game. I think I'm going to go with the Titans, though. Pennington in his first game back in over a year. And Titans' first game with Randy Moss coming off the bye. Yeah, I think they got it. I think the Titans got it. Jets at Browns. The Jets this last month have looked bad. They should be 0-3 over the last month. And, that sounds like a hater, but that's the case. I was riding this Jets team hard before this month, but they should have lost all of their games over the past 4 weeks. They really should have. And the Browns, they're actually okay this year. They might surprise some teams if they are allowed to sneak up on them, but oh man. This is tougher than I thought. I'll pick the Jets. I think they're a good team, and I think it's time for them to show up. But that's tough. Bengals at Colts. All right, Colts it is. I think it's time to bury the Bengals. They have quietly fallen off a cliff this year to 2-6. And I say quietly because it's not like a Cowboys thing where everybody's talking about it. And I think it continues. Indianapolis bounces back from a tough loss. Minnesota at Chicago. I really don't like the way this Vikings team is put together with their head coach, and they're obviously clashing with him because he is an idiot, but I think the Bears just suck. I think the Bears are bad. So the Vikings it is. I don't like that pick. but I'll stick with the Vikings. Lions at Bills. All right, Buffalo, you got to win this one, or you're gonna go 0-16. I'm looking at the schedule. I do not see Buffalo having a decent opportunity to win another game this year. It's got to be here, and I think they'll do it. I got Buffalo. Carolina at Tampa Bay. Yeah, I think it's time for Tampa Bay to bounce back in a big way against this Carolina team after that tough loss last week where I thought they really killed themselves with that horrible play call in the red zone on fourth down. Didn't like that at all, but I think they'll bounce back this week. I got Tampa Bay. Houston at Jacksonville. You know, Jags, they're what, 4-4? I think, yeah, they're 4-4. And it wasn't too long ago I thought they were a bottom 5 team in the league. And now they're at home playing a mediocre Houston team. They could go above 500 in the second half of the season. This is ridiculous. So I'm going to pick them. Houston with Andre Johnson limping around the way he is. Just seems like they can't do very much right. So, yeah, I guess Jacksonville is it. Kansas City at Denver. I think that Denver team's quit. I think they've given up on Josh McDaniels. I think they've given up on the season. I am going to take Kansas City on the road. And I don't like to do that because I don't trust Kansas City on the road. But this Denver team, I think they've quit. We got the Cowboys at the Giants. I'm not feeling the trap thing at all because, I don't see how Dallas, already such an awful team. Now things are changing so fast with the firing of Wade and bringing in Jason Garrett. I don't see how that can be good in the short term. So I think the Giants will take that in a blowout. The Rams at the Niners. No, I'm not riding the Troy Smith wagon. It's the Rams. It's the Rams going into Frisco, and I think it'll be a close game, though. I would not be surprised if San Francisco pulled it out just because it is St. Louis on the road. Seattle at Arizona. I already said my piece on that. I think we'll do it. I don't feel awesome about it, though. Sunday night, rather. New England at Pittsburgh. New England, they get crushed last week. If they lose 2 in a row, that would be, I don't know how often that has happened over the last decade, but it would be a surprise. But I just don't see how they match up in terms of talent. I just don't see how they get it done. So Pittsburgh is the pick. And Monday night, Philly at Washington. I actually think Philly is going to beat them down. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of emotion and anger going into this. I think McNabb may have said a little too much after Washington won the game earlier this year. And I think they'll get it done with Michael Vick hopefully playing a full game. Just for the record, I picked the Ravens on Thursday Night Football, so I'm starting off 0-1. And yeah, that's about it. So see you guys later. Enjoy the games tomorrow. And I think we need this one, so let's get it done.